Hey guys, Bill here from Papa Bill's. Today I'm going to do a video about door adjustment. A lot of times I'll get people come in, they'll complain about their doors, either they open too hard or they rattle. And then sometimes if you're going to add upper doors, whether it be a framed canvas upper or a hard upper, they're not going to close right if the main door is not adjusted properly. So today I'm going to go over some door adjustments, and hopefully you can get your doors adjusted properly and get some uppers on there. There's only a few tools you need to adjust the door. A 17mm wrench and a T40, and those are both for the striker, so you can adjust that. A 13mm socket, and that is for the hinges. And then if you have a trim tool, that will help to get the covers off from where the bolts are for the hinges. If not, you can use a screwdriver or anything. Okay, so this door here, you can see that the gap is real close up top in the front, and then it's wider at the bottom. It doesn't show as much on the screen, on the camera, but it is. And then you got a big gap back here. So you want to have that even as much as you can all the way around. Also, this door here, that actually closes good right now, but when you go to open it, there's a lot of tension on there, and there's actually a plastic where the cable goes on inside, and I have seen those come apart because it's too much tension on the latch. So you need to get that adjusted just right. At least this door here would not rattle. Let's see if we can get this adjusted. Okay, on your door, you've got these covers right here. You need to remove this cover. There's one on the top, one on the bottom. You want to remove those so you can access your bolts behind it. And you just go down from the top, because there's a tab on the top and a tab on the bottom, and that'll come right out. And there you have your 13mm headed bolts, and that's how you're going to adjust the door to get your gap correct all the way around the door. So these are the bolts you're going to use to adjust the door, adjust the angle of the door. And if the top front of the door is too close and you want to just slide it back. Get all the bolts so they're just snug, so you can still move it around. And then if the top of the door is too close in the front, you can move it back. Or if it's too far back, you can move it forward. Once you get it close, then you can snug it back down. You can always check at any point. You can just close the door and see how close you're at. See, right now we still have a gap at the top of the door, and it's closer at the bottom. So what we want to do is we want to push in. We'll open the door back up and we'll push in at the top of the door. And that is much better. You can try pushing in just a little bit more at the top. That is pretty good. So we will tighten the bolts back up. Get those good and snug. Check the door, make sure your alignment is still good. That actually opens really good now. The gap looks good. This opens really easy. You don't want to have too much force on it, because then it will hurt the latch and it'll come apart on the inside, the release mechanism. But it closes nice so it doesn't rattle. This door is pretty good right now. Just want to make sure your doors are nice and tight now. Make sure your bolts are nice and tight. You don't want anything to move. Try it one more time. still closes good. Then you can go ahead and put your covers back on. They just snap on. Then you can take your T40 and your 17mm wrench and make sure that the striker is good and tight once you've got your final adjustment done. And then for the final time, check and make sure it closes good. That's good. So if you were to put upper doors on, any adjustment down below is going to have a big effect up here in the corners, especially this corner here. So if you have a large gap down here, then a lot of times the upper door would actually be high and it would hit instead of going into the groove. So if it's up high here, then all you need to do is loosen your lower door, move it down in, move the lower part forward, and that will lower the top rear of the door. One good way of fitting the upper doors is once you have them on your door and up in there, have the bolts loose. They'll have them just loose a little bit so it holds the door in place, but yet you can still move it. And then you can position everything just right and then tighten them up and then readjust your striker after. So please remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, unleash the adventure.